In this session, we will see how to do basic formatting using formatting tags in HTML. There are different tags in HTML to format the content in HTML document. These tags help us to use basic formatting, such as making the text bold, italic, or underline, and subscript or superscript the text, and more. Formatting tags are tags in HTML, used to structure and style the text within a web page. They help define how the content should appear visually, and provide meaning to certain parts of the web page. In this session, we are going to learn about these tags. Let's see each of the formatting tags in detail. The B tag in HTML is used to make text bold. It is typically used for styling purposes without adding any extra importance to the content. We can wrap any text in HTML document like this. Here the word bold is wrapped by B tag. And this is the output. You can see the word bold will be displayed in bold, while the rest of the sentence remains in the default font style. The next tag is strong tag, which is used to define important text. When we wrap the text inside this tag, it makes the text bold like B tag. Browsers typically render the content inside the strong tag in bold to highlight its importance, rather than just for styling purposes. This example shows that the phrase, terms and conditions, will appear bold, indicating its importance in the sentence. The strong tag is semantically stronger than the B tag, because it implies that the text is important, not just bold. Now let us see how we can make a text slant or italic in HTML using I tag. The I tag in HTML is used to display text wrapped inside it, in italicized style. It is generally used for stylistic reasons, such as denoting a foreign word, a technical term, or titles of works. In this example, the word italicized will appear in italics, while the rest of the text remains in its regular style. The I tag does not convey importance but simply changes the font style to italics. The next tag is EM tag. It is used to highlight the text. This tag conveys importance or stress, and browsers usually render the content inside the EM tag in italics. However, like the strong tag, its primary purpose is semantic, meaning it indicates importance rather than just styling. In this example, it shows that the word really will appear in italics, showing that it carries more significance in the sentence. So the EM tag is used when you want to add significance to a word or phrase in a sentence, not just style it as italic. Now let's learn how to make text styled as underline in HTML. The U tag in HTML is used to underline the text wrapped inside it. It was commonly used for styling in older versions of HTML, but now it's more often used to indicate non-textual annotations, such as highlighting misspelled words. In this example, the word underlined is wrapped by U tag. You can see in the output, the word underlined will appear with a line beneath it. Although the U tag provides underlining, it's recommended to use CSS for visual styling in modern web development. The next one is BR tag, which is used to insert a line break in paragraph or any other continued text. It moves the text following it to a new line as shown here in this example. This is not a pair tag. It's an empty tag, so it doesn't need a closing tag. We can write it like this or like this. Earlier it was recommended to use BR tag with self-closing syntax to maintain well-structured document. But later, when HTML5 became the standard, it relaxed rules for void elements requiring a trailing slash. HTML5 treats both of these tags as valid, however, the simpler BR tag is recommended for use. Now let's see the HR or horizontal rule tag. The HR tag is used to insert a horizontal rule or a horizontal line, which is typically used to separate content or sections within a web page. This tag is also an empty tag, meaning it doesn't have a closing tag. In this example, the HR tag is placed between the P tags. Therefore, when we display the output, we can see there is a horizontal line placed between the two paragraphs. It is used to visually separate the content on the page. Next one is block-quote tag. The block-quote tag is used to define a section that is quoted from another source. It is typically displayed as indented text, distinguishing it from the rest of the content. This tag is useful when citing longer quotations or passages. In this example, block quote tag is used like this. It shows the output like this. The quote is displayed with indentation, making it stand out as a block of quoted text. The cite attribute in the block quote tag is used to specify the source of the quote. This attribute allows you to provide a URL or reference that indicates where the quoted content originally comes from. In this case, the quote is displayed on the web page, but the URL provided in the cite attribute is only stored as information about where the quote came from. It doesn't visually appear on the page, but web developers and tools can access it for reference. Now let us see the pre-tag. The pre-tag is used to display pre-formatted text in HTML. It preserves both spaces and line breaks, making it ideal for showing code snippets or text where white space and formatting matters. Text within the pre-tag will be displayed exactly as it appears in the HTML source. Here, the paragraph tag contains this text. In the browser, you can see that paragraph tag displays text normally, meaning that any extra spaces or line breaks inside the tag is ignored by the browser. Here we have a text inside the pre-tag that already contains the spaces and line breaks in it. You can see the output in the browser. Both the multiple spaces and line breaks are preserved exactly as they are in the code. Let's take a look at the next tag, which is the code tag. The code tag is used to display a computer code or any other text that we want to display in a monospace font. The monospace font is a font in which each character has a fixed width, for example, Courier New Font in Windows. It is generally used for documentation, tutorials, or articles to display a piece of computer code in a web page which will distinguish code from regular text. In this example, the computer code is displayed using code tag. The text inside the code tag is displayed in a monospace font, making it clear that it is a code snippet. Even the code tag can be further styled using CSS to improve understanding and readability. The code tag is usually used in combination with other elements like pre-tag to retain indentation and new lines like this. Now let us see what mark tag is. The mark tag is used to highlight text, typically to indicate relevance or importance in a section. When the text inside the mark tag is displayed in the browser, it usually has a yellow background by default, resembling the effect of a highlighter. This tag is useful when you want to emphasize certain parts of the text, especially in search results or when displaying important information. In this example, as we can see, the words front-end and back-end are highlighted using the mark tag. Further, we can change the default style of the mark tag using CSS. In this example, you can see that the background color of the text highlighted by the mark tag is changed based on the CSS applied to it. Let us move to small tag. The small tag in HTML is used to make the text inside it appear smaller than the surrounding text. It helps in distinguishing less important or fine print text from the main content. In this example, the phrase, "Terms and conditions apply," is displayed in a smaller font compared to the rest of the text. The small tag is typically used for legal disclaimers, copyright notices, or other secondary information. Now let us see how we can add superscript and subscript in HTML document. The superscript tag is used to display text slightly above the baseline, making it appear smaller and raised as we use to display square of number, like this. The superscript tag is ideal for exponents or footnotes, where you need to raise text. The subscript tag is used to display text slightly below the baseline, making it appear smaller and lowered as we use to display to in H2O. The subscript tag is useful in chemical formulas or mathematical expressions, where text should appear below the baseline. In this example, the 2 in the formula for Einstein's equation is displayed as a superscript. In this example, the 2 in the chemical formula for water is displayed as a subscript. Now let's see what del tag is. The del tag in HTML is used to represent text that has been deleted or removed from the document. By default, Browsers render the text inside the del tag with a strike-through to indicate that it is no longer valid or has been removed. In this example, this phrase is wrapped in the del tag, which causes it to be displayed with a strike-through in the browser. This visually indicates that the text is no longer valid. The del tag is commonly used to show changes in content, especially in collaborative documents or to display price updates, revisions, or corrections. Let us move to the insert tag. The insert tag in HTML is used to indicate text that has been inserted or added to the document. By default, the text inside the insert tag is underlined to visually distinguish it as new content. In this example, the word added is wrapped in the insert tag, which causes it to be underlined on the web page. This indicates that the text has been newly inserted or added. The insert tag is useful when tracking changes or edits, making it clear which parts of the content are additions or updates. Now let's look at the Q tag. The Q tag in HTML is used to denote short quotations in the HTML document. When displayed in a browser, it automatically encloses the quoted text in quotation marks. In this example, the phrase "practice makes perfect" is wrapped in the Q tag, which automatically surrounds it with quotation marks in the browser, indicating that it is a direct quote. The Q tag is useful for adding inline quotes to a document, distinguishing quoted text from the rest of the content. Now let's move to abbreviation tag. The abbreviation tag in HTML is used to define abbreviations or acronyms present in the HTML document. This improves the clarity of the document, especially when using shortened terms. In this example, the abbreviation HTML is wrapped in the abbreviation tag, and when we hover over the text, it will display hypertext markup language. The title attribute is essential here because it specifies the full form of the abbreviation. When you hover your mouse over the text HTML, a small tooltip pops up displaying hypertext markup language. This is particularly useful for users who may not be familiar with what HTML stands for. Now let's understand what address tag is. The address tag in HTML is used to define contact information or address details for a person, company, or organization. It is typically used for physical addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, or any other contact information. In this example, the address tag is used to provide the contact information of a company. It includes an email address, a physical address, and a phone number. By default, most browsers render text inside the address tag in italics, as seen here. However, this behavior can be customized with CSS if you prefer a different style for your contact information. This tag helps improve the accessibility and search engine optimization of your web page. Now let's see what is KBD tag. The KBD tag in HTML is used to represent user input, typically from a keyboard. This tag is often used to display keyboard shortcuts, commands, or text that a user is supposed to type into an interface. In this example, the KBD tag is used to visually represent the keyboard keys Ctrl and S. It shows that the user should press these keys together as an input or command. By default, most browsers display the content inside the KBD tag in a monospace or fixed-width font, which is commonly used for code or keyboard input. Now let's take a look at the Details and Summary tag. The Details tag lets you create a section on a web page that the user can either expand to see more information or collapse to hide it. This is great for adding extra details without making the page look too crowded. Inside the Details tag, you can use a Summary tag, which acts like a heading. The text inside the Summary tag is always visible and serves as a button. When the user clicks on this button, the hidden content inside the Details tag is revealed. By default, the content inside the Details tag is hidden. It will only appear when the user clicks the summary text. In this example, the Details tag is the main container that makes the content collapsible, and the Summary tag acts as a clickable heading or label for the collapsible content. For instance, the text, "More information," in the Summary tag is the clickable part. When the user clicks it, the hidden information below becomes visible, and if clicked again, it hides the information. This makes it easy to create sections where users can choose to see additional information without overcrowding the page. Now let's explore what the time tag does. The time tag provides a standardized way to define a date, time, or duration in HTML. It improves readability for search engines, browsers, and screen readers. In this example, this text is what the user will see on the web page. It's a human-friendly format of date and time. Here, the date-time attribute contains the date and time in a machine-readable format. This format follows the ISO 8601 standard, which is easily understood by search engines, screen readers, and other automated systems. The next tag is the WBR tag. The WBR tag in HTML is used to indicate a location within a word where the browser may break it, and wrap the remaining part of the word to the next line if necessary. It doesn't produce any visible effect unless the word becomes too long to fit in its container, at which point the browser breaks the word at the WBR point. In this example, we have this long word that might not fit in the first line if the space is limited. When the word is too long, the browser normally puts the entire word on a new line, causing it to break awkwardly. Thus, the entire word moves to the next line because it doesn't fit in the current line. To fix this, we use the WBR tag between this word and this word. This tells the browser where it's allowed to break the word. With WBR tag, the browser can break the word in a way that keeps the word visually balanced. In this case, this word stays on the current line, and this word moves to the next line. This prevents the entire word from jumping to the next line and makes it easier to read when space is tight. These are the formatting tags we will be using while building our web pages. In next session, we will see what are list tags and how we can use them.